Hello! In this video, we will be doing the ear. Whoop, 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 whoop. Just take a look at that ear for a second. There's a lot of stuff going on in an ear. Ears and hands. Probably going to be two toughest thing you try to model. And we're not trying to do the model. We're not trying to model the hands in this class. So the ear is probably going to be one of the more complicated things. So you're going to spend an exorbitant amount of time on the ear. Just keep in mind that, you're going to zoom way out. You're going to have some problems with it. You're going to be zooming in, not even looking at one tree. You're going to be looking at the weeds in the forest rather than the whole forest. So take in mind it's just one part of the head. And it is overly complicated. Wonderfully complicated. Look at all these wonderful Latin names for everything. I'm going to go over those in a second. But there's the ear. That's what we'll be doing. So, again, this is all part of the head model. And again, here's my message. You looking at me? Go easy on yourself, okay? It's your first time trying this. The ear's a very complex piece of the body. You'll get frustrated. Take deep breaths. Work your way through it. Just try to get the basics, okay? Don't try to get every single detail of here. Just get the basic shapes. We'll get there, okay? We are going to use a pen poly. I also want to remind you of your hotkey G. Mr. G, or G, right? G is for Gianbruno. G is also for repeating yourself. So we'll probably be using G a lot, just to kind of repeat the same action instead of having to go all the way over to the menu. And here's the thought. We're going to make a whole loop with either extrude or a pen poly. Okay, and then we might need to touch on some verts. We're going to make a very flat ear. And normally you're used to extruding stuff outward. We're going to be pushing stuff in and making the inner parts. So we're going to keep it flat, and then our work pushes inward. So it's a lot of you guys have been modeling mostly as extruding outward. So a lot of this gets pushed inward. So yeah, this is what we're doing. So with our model in play here, let us, excuse me, where is that? Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Let's take a look at our model. Let's do a save as. Command Shift save as. Always a good idea. I'm just going to go to my desktop. I know it's in a folder. There it is. I'll put it in that folder. I'll just leave it right there. And then mouth, nose, and now ear. Ear start. I'll do it. Might have to do it halfway through. Okay. So here we go. Let's go to our 4 view. Mr. G likes to talk. Here's our side view. It's looking pretty good. Let me do one little tangent here. This is bad. This here is called a node. And when you get so many edges going into one vertex, you start to run into problems later on. We're going to be fixing that later. A couple of these things will get cleaned up when we start attaching all the pieces. But right now, everything's kind of even. Notice how I was cognizant of this is an edge and that's an edge. This is edge, that's an edge. I have these places kind of in place. I have these edges in place for where I think they're going to match up with a partner. You want to keep that mentality when you're going through with the ear. Okay, so here is our ear, obviously. Where's my blue pen? So this is called the Helix. But you can call it the outer curve ridge. I got a funky little ear lobe. So we're going to do an extrusion like that. And we're going to ignore the fact that it gets attached to the head. And we're going to have it as a loop first. Okay. And then we're going to start branching out. We're going to branch out across this. Oh, I already forget the name of this. And this is called the AntiHelix. So we're going to go here like that. And then we're going to go here. And then maybe finish that off there. And then we're going to do fill holes. And then we'll do some multi-cutting, edge looping, a few things. All the while trying to keep our edge count to quads. And then we're going to extrude it over and around. And then once we get there, we actually want to extrude outward. So we're going to give a general safety zone to that ear. Look at that. Love the blue pen. Grease pen. All right. there we go. So just to kind of give you our game plan. Let's go back to my slide just to make sure, right? So we're actually going to do more append poly than create polygon. I've seen a demo where it does the create polygon tool. I've also seen other demos where they just extrude the edges. More than one way to cut a mango here, guys. So just work through it. Just like with target weld, you could also do it with a bridge, or you could also do it with a pen polygon. You don't have to do an edge ring split. You could do an insert edge loop, and then you could also do a multi-cut by holding shift, I think. There's a way to kind of make a multi-cut turn into an insert edge loop. I'll try to remember that as I go along. And there we go. And as a side note, I've noticed my last two videos were longer than I wanted to, so I'm gonna speed run this a little bit. Remember, you can pause. Remember, I'm gonna do a little bit of a sloppier version of an ear. You take a little bit more time because I'm just trying to get through the whole demo without making it perfect for the sake of time, because this will take a while. And just to kind of remind you, ear complicated, right? Helix, this ridge in the middle is called the AntiHelix. These flat parts are called the Fosa. There's cruxes and conch. Conch is the place where you like to stick the Q-tips in. And don't stick the Q-tips in the external auditory meatus. Please don't quote me about that. I'm joking. And then these are called the tragus. Anti-tragus tragus. And then the lobe. Of course we have the lobe. We all know the lobe. All right. Enough talking. Listen. So, again, I'm going to go fast. I'm not going to get like a perfect ridge right here. I already know this is going to need some work. I just know when I go fast, these are the things that take forever. So I'm going to kind of glaze over those just in the interest of time. All right, let me do this. So here we go. So let's do create polygon tool, mesh tools, create polygon tool. And I'm going to start on the outside, then go on the inside. And so I'm going to start right here, boop, one, and I want to do a whole loop. I'm trying to click where I think I want my little edge rings, and then coming back is going to be the tough part. And then the video that I attached, my ear is funky. Yeah, nice little droop right here. My earlobe comes down. Ooh, 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 ooh. I was in Photoshop mode for a second. Right, and then I can cut back. I hit 4 here. Doop. There we go. I'm going to cut back. And so when you see it in 5, it kind of starts. And now I'm trying to match my partners here. Partner. And I'm trying to get the helix ridge of my ear. Partner. Enter. Right. This has the problem with this method is that it has no edges in the middle, so I'd have to go through and connect them all. So this is why he starts with, he does a create poly mesh tool. So I could go through and then connect all the dots with multi-cut, which is a tool you guys know. But I could kind of start with just one square. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit enter. If I need to reverse it, I'm going to go to mesh display reverse. And now I can go to object mode and go to mesh tools and append polygon. And what I can do here is I'm going to click on that, and then that's where I want one. Boop, boop. Hit enter. And then repeat. Pen polygon, click on my edge. And boop, boop. You can kind of tell where there's good parts to click here. I can also go back and change stuff. Just append my appending, if you will. Hit that vertex. Get that over there. Get that over here. Yes. There you go. Ah. I need another edge loop there. All right, go back to my object, append poly. Oop. Click on that edge, and then hit G again. pen the poly, goes click on the boundary edge, and then, you know, that looks like a good spot. If I keep going, nope. You have to hit enter every time. Oh no, undo. Undo. One more time. As you can see, I've been working with the create polygon tool, and I'm refamiliarizing myself with this. So keep hitting G, click on an edge. Oh my goodness. Come on. You're embarrassing me, tool. Quit, click the edge, pen polygon tool, click on the edge. There we go. Thank you. And 1, 2. The other thing you can do is if you're having trouble, go to edges like this, hit extrude, and then I just get out of there, hit W, and move this around, and right? More than one way to cut French fries, so we're just gonna. And I want another edge loop, so I'm gonna go back here, insert edge loop, boop, go back, got a new set of verts, give me that better curve. Something like that. Get that 4 mode. Oh, I know, I made a new object, and that object doesn't have new vert sizes. So if I go here and go to display, and I go to polygons, vert sizes, that'll help me grab things. Oops. Mesh, sorry. Display, polygons, vert size, get that a little higher. So I made it so that it'll always show verts, and now they're a little bit bigger. It's going to be easier for me to show and to grab. All right, let's keep going. So if a pen polygon wasn't working, you can do this and go to vertex. So I believe some people prefer a pen polygon because it lets you kind of stay within one mode. But I was having trouble clicking on things. It was not letting me flow, man. So again, let's try it again. Let's go back. Oop. I'm kind of liking my edge, extrude edge. So pen polygon was not cooperating with me. Click on it. I do. That looks like a good spot. 1, 2. So I'm just looking for this natural flow of edges. As I have this like dip down, right? Hit enter, and I got to do it again. Mesh tools, pen polygon. Click on that edge, and then I'm going to say, is that too far? Let's see. Oop. Let's undo that. Mesh tools. I wonder, can you hear my daughter playing? That's playing. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna extrude edges. So just like in that video, you can see that I was having some problems. I'm just gonna pull that out. Hit 4, vertex. And just get a nice, good curve. Back to edge. Back to edge. Back to edge. There you go. Is your Maya as uncooperative as mine? What's happening is I feel the new Maya has a lot of features and really wants to make sure you're clicking on the right place at the right time. Okay. And so it's not anticipating my needs well. All right. So I'm going to extrude again. And you might have a better way of doing this. If you're seeing my workflow, feel free to comment below about if there's another way you think we could do this. Okay. I need to go up this way. Look at those wrinkles. All right, I need to go from here to here. I want to connect this. So instead of going up and around, I'm going to change edges to this one and kind of follow it there. So same plan. I just had to switch gears with the edge that I chose. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move the vertices in a second, because I don't like switching between tools. So it's okay to do this too. That one. I'm just kind of planning these inner ones, and I'm going to let's give it a little bit of a rotation. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm going to clean that up. Yeah, and then we got to close that. A couple ways you can close it. You can close it by bridging, appending, or so let's do append. I think this is what append was really meant for. Let's time to shine, append, don't let me down. Click on that one, click to that one. Voila. That's the good way to append. I'm going to hit 4 here. I just want to make sure my vertices. You'll notice there's a lot of geometry here, right? Am I in vertex mode? No, I'm not. Vertex. And 4. I'm curious. Can you hear my mouse clicks on the microphone? Is that annoying or is that good? Because that lets you know. All quads. It's tough because you see shadows and you see, all right, that's a good ring. Couple ways you can go next. I like to, this is a nice land bridge. So there is kind of a, from this edge, I can see here, and this goes down. It's going to kind of come up and around, and then I'm going to build the ridge off of that ridge. So I'm going to start with, what do you guys think? This edge or that edge? I'm going to start small. I'll start with that edge. I want to turn off my mesh, I accidentally hit. There you go. A little cleaner. Extrude. And something like that. Vertex. Good. I'll build that up in a second. And this is a common problem of early modelers is you can't do everything all at once. So you have to kind of hone your focus on what you can and can't do. Right there. I'm gonna go in I know that one's gonna dip down because I want to make a slope. So I'm gonna leave, I don't really have any sort of geometry here to indicate that I want to leave a vertex there, but I know that one's gonna get pushed in. So I'm gonna give it an extra bit. Okay, and then this guy needs to come over now. Like so. There we go. And do I want it to come over and connect to this guy, or do I want it to come over to connect to that guy? I think I'm going to fan out and connect to here. So edge. And then this ridge is going to come out of these sides. So it's about that wide. I'm going by the underside. And then this it's screaming to go to that one. So I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Aim for that direction. And then I know I'm going to leave a ridge here. So let's go back to vertex. I jinxed myself when I said I want to make a quick video. This is going to be a long video. I am not going to target weld that. I am going to have a ridge that kind of tucks in underneath, right? That's this part. So I'm going to leave a little bit of space, and I can either make an extra ridge right now and then tuck it in. I'm going to leave it disconnected right now. I'm going to finish this. This is going to kind of come up. This is going to come up and weld with these. And I have another fold. And some of you don't have this dramatic fold. So there is a Y shape right here. Was I always on the grease pen tool? That's what was causing the problem. They do talk about your helix kind of forms this Y branching out right there. And then this is this before that's your brain hole. And then this is what they call the conch. This area here, that's the interior, the lower part of the ear. Why am I talking about that? This is going to come up, and then I'm going to split up to here, and then I'm going to start filling in holes. So let's make let's bridge this right now. So I can do the append polygon tool, or I can just do another extrusion and then target weld. Your call on how you like to operate this. Depends on my mood, depends on how appended. This is going to be the flap, the curl that comes inward. That's this edge loop right here. We're going to deal with that in a second. All right, let's branch this, and then we're going to do this Y that's hard to see on my picture, but I know is there. There's a little extra ridge right here, that part. So it's going to split off. So let's do those. Edge mode. Here we go. Extrude. I'm doing Command E for extrude. If you can't tell yet, Mr. G likes hotkeys. My sad part is that I used to program hotkeys and then have all my students program hotkeys, but then they would change systems or update, and then we'd have to reprogram. So I work with the hotkeys Maya gives me, and then when you have your own system and your own way of doing things, do kind of build out your own hotkey system, because you can do that under here somewhere. But there. All right, I'm going to do another small edge here, like that, and then I'm going to connect those. Command E. Oop. And I could have done a pen, but since I already built it out, we do vertex. I'm going to go to mesh tools, target weld that. 1, 2. All right. I'm going to do one more build off this for that Y shape. I'm going to go from here to here, and then I'll have a bunch of stuff to work. I'm going to follow this guy down too. Let's do that right now. Follow that guy down. In the interest of time, I'm going to go this a little bit faster, just to try to keep this video short, or I don't know. Should I just play me double speed? Let me just finish this up. I'm still going to do it sloppy. I don't want to, yeah. So I'm going to follow this ridge. See, this is this nice, easy line. So I'm going to connect it here. And what this is telling me is I need another edge loop. So I'm going to go, before I get to that edge, I can multi-cut or make an edge loop right here. Bam, bam, because I know that this extrusion here is going to get connected to that. I also know it would be really nice to have partners. So 1 extrusion, 2 extrusion, 3 extrusion, 4 extrusion. That might be a bridge too far. I might need to cut one of these in half because I might need some curves here. So let's find out, because I'm trying to get my buddies across. So let's do Command E. Pull it down, pull it over, get a rotation. You could also mess with the vertices. I will. Right about there. Put a vertex here, get that squared away. All right, that'll be 1. And go to edge, extrude, pull it down, pull it up, give it a rotation. That's 2. Maybe I will do it in 4. And E. 3. And 4. That seems like pretty. That's not bad. Okay. There's no ridge. I can target weld that. All right. I could have appended that. I'm just going to target weld. You can also target weld in edges. It's a little wonkier, but boom. It's good. I'm going to keep it simple. You might have more, but the important part is that you're keeping the count the same, because these are going to be little buddies here, right? This guy's going to need an edge loop too, because I have 2 on this side, 1 on that side. Do you guys see that? And then I'll get there in 1 second. And then this Y, I'm going to get this ridge going up to about there. I'll just start filling in holes. So I have this nice general outline right here. Oh, I can. Let's do. I see it right here. Do you guys see this Y? What I'm seeing right here? Let me extrude that one out, and then we'll fill holes. All right. So. Sorry for the convolutedness of this. All right, I'm going to extrude one edge and then target weld, because that's all one piece. Again, this could also be with. Let's just do the workflow that we know, rather And then there's this little, when I hit in 4 mode, I can see it a lot clearer. There's a line that's going up here. Eventually it's going to curve in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 extrusions I'm going to get to there from these spots. So I'm going to pull this one over here. Sorry, pull that one over here. I'm going to use this one. We're going to have to square that triangle in a second, but that's okay. And edge mode. Edge mode. This is why you like X-ray. If you like X-ray, that way you can kind of see everything and follow that line. It is a tough line to see. It is usually way more apparent. It's right there. And every year, you might see it way more clearly, and you might not have one. You might have a very faint one. And I might be overkilling it here. Let's see. And rotate. Oh, rotate that. Move that back. This is where my ridge shall become. Let's see where I want to go with this. One more for the ridge. And target weld. Again, a pen works just fine. Why do I keep mentioning all the ways? Because there's other videos that do other things. I'm trying to hit all bases, which is probably making it. All right, so I could extrude and connect, but I'm going to try to fill some holes here and keep a close watch on my quad count. Looks like we're going to be good here. So I'm going to start with this hole right here because this one seems easy. And mesh, I say that now. Fill hole, multi-cut, mesh tool, multi-cut. Bop, bop, enter. Bop, bop, enter. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. This might, let's just do this. We'll start from here and we'll go to here. Just gonna make another piece right there, just for now. We might delete some later. Repeat, fill hole, start cutting. So I'm gonna go, fill hole will take anything you want to select. A UV, whatever. So that's a hole, whatever's selected on that hole, and I go to mesh, fill hole. Boom. All right, so if I multi-cut right here, so your instinct is going to be have a triangle, but hello quad, bop. I'm going to have to work with that, so I'm going to go here, like that, quad, and then I think I'm going to run into some triangle trouble here. That's fine. Quad. Yes, what should I do? Oh, quad. Aha! Quads. That worked out really well. This one I am going to have to cut because I have that ridge that I was making. Move this up a little bit that way. Up a little bit that way. Get this fitting just right. And again, guess what I'm going to do? Fill hole and cut. Mesh. I'll fill the hole in a second. Let me do this one. This one has some depth to it. Let me complete this guy. This guy is easier to complete right now. I'm going to go to mesh. Edit mesh. Sorry, mesh. Fill the hole. Bop. And then mesh tools multi-cut. And 1, 2. Row. Let's do a big one here first. I know that that's probably gonna be enter. Make sure you hit enter when you're done with your multi-cutter. Problem. So I'm gonna go back to my multi-cutter. Start at that vertex. If I click and hold here, is it gonna give me the whole line? No. So I'm just gonna complete like here. 1. Oh, because that wasn't a quad, so it couldn't go through. But now it's gonna be quad. Looking good. Yes. All right. This part goes down, and so right now we have a very flat ear. Let me get it. It's in object mode. Some of you are very concerned with the origin being over here. Don't sweat that. Get it lined up to your ear here. Don't worry about making it flat or not. It's already lined up there. But your life's gonna be easier if you pull this depth down now, because you know that this is is very down. So this inner part of my ear, let me push there. Yeah. That's going to help connect and break some things up when we do a fill hole right here. All right. And then we'll be doing some extruding. All right. Edge. Click on an edge. Mesh. Fill hole. Boop. Let me get back to the big view. All right. Back to vertex. Back to multi-cut. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quad. Now, so what I was doing and what I didn't explain was I'm cutting like these squares like that. So I'm just kind of keeping my quads where I want them to be, and this kind of helps track what you need to track, and then you can move vertices later. Now, do I want to go to here? Quad, 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 quad. All right, how am I gonna finish this? That's gonna give me a node. So I'm gonna go here, and then, okay. Yeah, I think if I just branch down, and then, yes, yeah, oh, almost. And then, I think I'm gonna need an extra set of vertices up there. So if I cut, is that gonna give me what I want? 1, 2, still quads. New quad. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got this guy here. And then I'm probably gonna need some extra. Oh, I got a triangle there. Let's see. I'll come back to that one. Let me revisit that guy. There's an answer there. I just can't figure it out. All right. This troubling. Do not. I bet when I figure this. So I got a problem right here. Womp. I'm coming back to that. Mesh fill. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be my quad. So I got. It looks like a triangle, but it's a quad. Okay. This is going to be my cop out, right? You could get away with a triangle here or there, especially if it's not a wiggly part. But I have a 5 here, and I have a 5 there. There is an answer to kind of make both of those work. I could live with these 2 triangles. I don't really like that solution. So let me see. I'm going to quit out of that. I think this guy can wiggle over here a little bit more, like so. And this guy could wiggle over here. Is that going to do it? 1. Here we go. And that's the part that's going to rack your brain. Did that do it? Quad, 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 quad. I think we're good. I think we're really good. All right. Now it's a matter of a little extruding, a little pushing in, and a few other things. So let's take a look in 4 mode. And my ear has this really tight space right here. I'm going to give that. That's where my helix starts to fold over. It's right here. I'm going to grab this whole ring of edges. And this is where it's fun because you have your reference footage is you, and you can just kind of see where that, and it's done right there. I'm going to extrude, and this is where you start to go to your perspective view, and you can start pushing that in, and you can start shrinking it, and that's going to be a more gentile slope. Shrink that a little bit more. There. And then you want to, the places where it's sloping, where it kind of gets out of the way, you definitely want, don't do that. Definitely want to push and pull those verts to kind of even that curve out. And then I can tuck these back in more. I can check 3, but it's definitely giving me that crease that I've desired. I'm going to hit edge. Remember, when you're selecting edges and verts, 3 is an illusion. Don't be tricked. And then if I push that in here, how am I looking in 3? And this looks a little too. All right. So now I got this wonderful little ridge here. Let's see. I want to get this flat part of the conch in a little bit more. So before I extrude in for the brain hole, I forget the name of that term. This ridge is up, and oops, wrong plot. This 1, 2, 3, 4. My dog broke into my room, and if there's a small child in my room, I am working. I'm going to push those in like so, and it's creating that. And I'm going to push that one in more. And don't be afraid to rotate a face. That usually ends up revealing stuff. And so I want to get this extrusion in as well. Oh, man, let's go 4 mode. There. 5 mode, I meant. And I'm going to get, that's going to extrude inward. I'm going to push it in globally. Not that far. Make it a lot smaller. Mess with those verts. And then this is going to become my brain hole right there. So back to 1 mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that. Extrude. Global. I'm going to push it in just a little. Flatten that out. I can mess with those to make them look a little cleaner. That's fine. And this is going to be quite shadowy, but definitely pull that in. Okay. And now the ear wraps around. So that's not bad. There's a few more places I would push down. But this video is getting quite long. Pull that up, push these down. You could sculpt this a little bit more, but you have all of the basic geometry needed to sculpt your ear. I would, if I wanted to make this labial fold. Before I start talking about the back side of the ear, I want to just discuss this part. I'm going to extrude this downward because this kind of cuts into the ear. I'm going to extrude. This is a pro gamer move right here. I'm going to push that down, scale it, and here's a trick for this one. You ready? I'm deleting that because that winds up being a crevice into my ear. Just kind of sculpting. I've gone really fast. There's a little bit, so spend a little bit more time sculpting this area. Like I have this weird wrinkle fold happening on my left ear. Pull that up and over. And now, after spending a lot of time sculpting and carving that, here's what I want to do. I want to find the spot where it's touching the skull. That's where I start my extrusion wrapping over. So this right here, where I'm clicking right here, that edge gets faded into my face. This edge right here gets wrapped over and becomes part of the back. So that goes from here all the way down to that edge right there. That edge is also wrapping around. Now, some of you have fused lobes, the lobes that are attached lobes. So that means that you're probably going to go to this edge or this edge, just depending on your body type. So here we go with the edges. I'm going to get 1 all the way down to here and then add that guy. Yes. Be careful of that. So that trick, I know some of you never learned that trick. So if I click one edge, hold the shift key, double click down here, it gets the whole ring, hopefully in the right direction. And then I'll add that one. I think if I grabbed this ring right here, it would have gone the other way. Let's find out. 1. Yep, it went the other way. For some reason, that corner, I knew, just out of experience. Boom. And then this one more. Now, I'm going to do the back of my ear. Hit extrude. And I'm going to, let's push it back. Oh, it's looking like an ear. And then the next one, so that's a tiny one, extrude one more time. Push it back, and I believe I'm going to keep it in global, and now I'm going to scale it in. Nope. Switch modes. Scale it in. Yes. about now. This is where you're gonna go fast and get frustrated because you're like, I'm done with the ear. I want to be done. I'm gonna move that back to where my lobe is. It's got unevenly distributed with the extrusion, and we don't have a picture. Don't sweat it too much. We're not going to be right. How often do you look at the character's back of their ears? I guess a lot if you're doing like a third person. Yeah, something like this. And there's a lot of ear that's attached from the lobe, from this piece here. I forget what it's called, and I don't want to misname it. And then from this piece, there's actually a decent distance. I'm gonna say that. I could add another edge loop here to make it look a little bit more texture. We'll work on that. And then do yourself a favor, and that same set of edges for an extrusion, extrude that out. Command E, pull it forward a little bit, and then pull it out a lot of it. It's going to be much easier to attach this to the head than that previous edge loop. So this will be a lot easier just because you can't see it. And I'm not even going to, I can always delete it. I'm going to make it one more bigger, so that, and make it a little flatter. Yeah, that's going to be easier to kind of weld to the rest of the head once I've made those extrusions. I made that really long back here, but I'll deal with that later. So that is basically your ear. The one thing I haven't covered is how to shape it out. So you are going to need to kind of take some of these edges here and push those forward. And that's it though. But I have made a very long video. So that's the ear. The last thing I haven't done is I haven't changed its amount going this way and that way. I'm going to stop recording and take care of that. So a little bit of transition of time just happened. Got a little interrupted. The last thing you want to do is this is not set for your front view yet. I got very obsessed with getting the side view. I got locked in, right? It happens, model lock. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to, go to object mode. And then I'm going to move that out a little bit more. And a lot of you are going to be worried that it's too, a lot of you get annoyed with the origin down here. You don't have to. You can press D. You can move that origin point to the center of the ear if you wanted to give it a simple rotation first. There we go. Got to move it back. That's what's happening. Right there. Put it in the whole area. Press D again. So D. D for destroy the anchor point. I don't know why it's called D. Why is E rotate? So then E, speaking of E, I'm going to rotate it. I can give the ear a little bit of a rotation. That's going to help. But the ear is not perfectly flat, so I'm going to give it a little bit of depth there. And now what I can do is I'm going to use soft select. And if you haven't messed with soft select in a while, let me give you some pointers. So you have B for soft select, B for because it's soft select, B, and it's way too big. Remember the default for soft select is way too big. Here's your pro tip again. Hold B, and if you middle mouse click, oops, we got B, I can get a circle. So holding B lets me change the range of my soft select. There is one other option I like to make sure I'm doing. So I'm going to double click on my arrow. I'm going to go down to soft selection. And I like to do surface. The difference between a volume soft select and a surface soft select is surface is going to take longer to reach. If it's going by surface, it's not as, volume is more by the crow, how the crow flies, right? So the distance from this face to that face is much closer. But if I choose surface, now I have to go down the hill and then back up to get there. So I like using surface for my soft select because that will reach the, that usually gives me a more accurate grab of what I want. So I'm going to make the ring bigger. And now I can shift select there. I'm getting this nice, a little bit bigger. Holding B gives you this nice larger ring. And I'm hoping I cover this part in class. And I'm going to pull that, give it a little rotation, pull. Oh, and look how it's matching on my front view, right? I went a little too far. Down. So you can kind of reshape and resculpt your ear, and that's going to make your ear look more ear-like. And now down here, again, too much. B, pull it down. Tapers off. It's already looking better. And then let's tuck my lobe in a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll try to do a better job of explaining soft select. I don't want it to touch that skull piece though, so E, rotate that, yes. Maybe a little bit there. Tuck it in a little bit more. Tuck it up a little bit more. Now it's looking like an ear. Got a little extra bend there. Maybe I want to push those in. Push that ridge in. Push that guy in a little bit. There you go. That's your ear. All right, the next video is, some of this is going to have to go and get fused. Some of this, I got too little geometry here, too much geometry here. We got to square that circle. We still have to finish the head. So the next step is to build the skull cap and then bring it all together and connect everything. So that will be our last video, but the hard part is over. If you have an ear set in place, you are in really good shape. If it looks anything remotely like an ear, and it's got the conch, it's got the helix ridge, and everything is looking okay, this is good. This is not a good ear. This is a good ear. This is a okay-ish. I'm at 3.5 out of 5 ears, right? And you don't have to get a perfect 5 ear right now, okay? Keep sculpting it though, keep tweaking it. As we keep working on other parts, you're going to see me gravitate back to certain details and fix them. Like there's this under eye needs to be fixed a little bit. It's going to be bugging me for a while. Oh, I still got soft select on. And we'll play a lot more with the cleanup method. So get all those set in there. And don't forget to save. See you next time.